You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next, the April 10th meeting of the Michigan City Commission on the Social Status of African American Males. You can get more information for this meeting by going to www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending today's meeting. I would like to call it to order. First thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Secretary?
Stacy Bennon. Dennis Carroll.
Present.
Walter Cox.
Present.
Kenny Fly Sr. Pastor Dwayne Hurt, he's absent excused, I guess, because he called. Does that make them excused? Oh yeah, Stacy, I guess she would be absent excused because she called and sent an email that she's at a state conference. Pastor Robert Johnson, he called, he has a family emergency. Mike Jones.
Present.
Casey McCormick.
Present.
Rodney McCormick sent an email that he's at a conference or something. Willie Millsap.
Present.
Trey Moore present. Nick Pollock.
Present.
Taylor Tillman.
Present.
Mike Walker. I haven't heard from him. Anybody? No. Council Liaison Joseph Nelson. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Following the agenda, we have a guest speaker today. Commissioner Tillman, could you introduce her, please?
Yes, so our guest speaker is our social worker for the Michigan City Police Department. Her name is Jocelyn Calborn, and she'll be here to speak about her duties as a social worker for the police department. I don't know where you guys want her to stand. Or...
She need to be up here with
Go
you
ahead and
guys.
give up my seat here.
She could stand,
Sure.
I guess. I'm not-
Yeah,
That's okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, could you give us a
Yeah, so
brief description on your duties and who you are?
I'm Jocelyn. I'm with the Michigan City Police Department. I'm the social worker there. I started back in May, so like June 1st. It was the end of May, June 1st. So it's a newer position. My position's funded by HealthLink through a grant. And so essentially, what I do is work with officers, different admin at the station, and I go out on different calls that pertain to mental illness, or I work a lot with the unhoused population in Michigan City. Also, if a family needs food or shelter for the evening, I work in that area. But yeah, officers will either call me out to scenes, or they can just send me an email with information regarding the individual who I'm working with, and that's how I get services for them. So I also partner a lot with different organizations throughout the city as well. So Salvation Army, the shelter that we have here, the different just different programs and services that we have throughout Michigan City. I connect individuals to them. But yeah, that's basically what I do. And then community outreach as well. So we did Cops and Bobbers, which is a fun event that I think they did previously, but they hadn't done it in many years, and so we brought it back last year.
What is it called? Cops and what?
Bobbers. So officers came out with myself and LaPorte PD, and we did like a competition between the 2 departments or 3 departments. I think County Sheriff was out there as well. and they fished with youth, like at-risk youth. And it was just a good way for officers to bond with the youth throughout the county. And then this year we're doing cops and bowlers. So the same concept, but they're bowling. And yeah, just different community events like that.
Do you know when that event is going to be, Cops and Bowlers?
May 4th.
Oh,
Yeah, it's coming up.
So how do you guys advertise it to the community? I'm sorry for breaking in.
No, you're fine.
I was gonna say, is there any questions, but you're already on it. Okay.
That's perfect.
Cool.
So Tyler Wachlewski, he is in charge of pushing that out. So like in terms of my position, I send out emails to our department just to see if officers are interested in participating. And so I have gotten some volunteers for that. Some officers want to do it. But in terms of like countywide, Tyler Wachlewski, he pushes that out for us. And he's the coordinator for JDI, I think.
I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Tyler Wachlewski.
How you spell that last name again?
WASHLUSKE.
So if I can't pronounce his last name and I call the police department, what's his position?
So he's not with the police department.
Okay.
He's at the LaPorte Courthouse.
LaPorte, okay.
And I don't think they've made, actually it's coming up so soon, I haven't seen a flyer for it or anything yet.
Right.
So I don't know if he's delayed on that or what.
Any other questions for our speaker?
How do you connect for services? Right? Can you just walk through that process if you need to? It sounds like you have a network, a referral network too.
Yeah.
How does that process work?
It's really simple. I just call my contacts at each service provider. So like Salvation Army, I have a contact for her or for that program. Harry at Nest, I call him if I need something. Swanson Center, I work a lot with Swanson Center, so I call Katie Jasneski. She is the like the chief coordinator there. So just different contacts, just a quick phone call.
And are you a good contact to refer to, or I guess how does that work for referrals to make to you? Is that something that the community can make to you, or does that come through the police department?
So they can make direct referrals to me. They would have to have my contact information. And I just give out business cards. My officers have my business cards they hand out to the community as it's needed. But I'm not like on the website or anything yet,
Okay.
so yeah.
Cool.
And I didn't bring any business cards with me, I'm sorry.
That's good. And which food banks do you use?
So I have food at my office that I get. So I work with Salvation Army a lot,
Okay.
their food bank. I volunteer at the soup kitchen as well, on 7th and Franklin right there. So that's
Okay.
primarily where I,
Great. Did you say you work with the Swanson Center also?
yes. Yep.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
So you said, sorry, you said that your position is funded through a grant through HealthLink.
Yes.
Is that fully funded, or do you look for other donations or anything from the community, different organizations or anything?
So yeah, my salary is completely funded through HealthLink.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna add that working with Jocelyn is sort of what we would call a blessing at the police department, because it's not necessarily easy to help people, because people look at us as like we're the first line, like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? We really can't. You know what I mean? We're kind of like in a bubble in a sense. You know, we're dealing with criminal stuff here. But when it comes down to people with mental health issues, or just battered females, or anything of that matter, we kind of just refer them to Jocelyn, and she kind of helps them out. So it's really a blessing to be able to just not necessarily hand it off, but give it to someone else that's more capable and qualified to take care of that in that way. Get a lot of these people out of the situation that they're into, and help them get back where they need to be, whether that's in Ohio or, you know, somewhere out of state. She helps us with that as well. So.
Piggybacking off what you just said, I totally agree that her position on the department is an additional tool you guys have in your toolbox to use to offer better services to the community, especially in the mental health arena.
Yeah.
Just for our viewing audience, could you give the contact information in case someone from the community wants to reach you?
Yes. So my cell phone number is 219-221-2050. And then my office line is 219-874-3221, extension 1072. Sorry, I keep kicking this down.
Is there any procedure that someone from the community would like to make contact with you that they need to follow, like provide documentation or call, set an appointment? What's the procedure? Or is there one?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say there's a procedure. If they call, I just ask that if I don't answer the phone, just leave your name, number, and a detailed message. Everything is confidential. I don't share my voicemails with anyone. So they can lay out all the details in the voicemail, that's fine. But yeah, just leave a detailed message as to why, you need services.
Since you've been in your position since May or June, what have you noticed about our community with your job responsibilities? Like, is mental health high, or is homeless high?
Yeah. Mental health issues are high at certain points, I would say. Like lately, I don't know. I wouldn't say we've had too many mental health crises lately. Last month it was pretty bad, especially on midnights. They dealt a lot with mental health, 1096 individuals. But since I've started working in Michigan City, I've noticed that the unhoused population is severely high. And we're doing, with the police department and myself, we're doing things to hopefully help quality of life in Michigan City, but it's a process, it takes time.
So mental health is something that noticeable in homeless, you said, is also?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so if there's a homeless individual in the community that needs to reach you, just give that call and then you guys set that up?
Yes, or officers will call me out. If they're out with a homeless individual, they'll call me out and I kind of take over from there.
Okay, and you mentioned that you respond when needed, so you're on call pretty much 24/7, huh?
Yeah, but the officers do really, really well of not calling me like after hours. Officer Tillman, she called me at like 6 p.m. one night and I came out to the station to help this lady, but they're pretty respectful of that, like not after hours, but I'll take calls anytime.
Most of your service you mentioned was at night though, so in our community, nighttime is really, you see a lot of activities.
In the summertime for sure, yeah. Yeah, usually in the wintertime it's pretty quiet. It's like between, I would say morning, like right before noon is when we have, or when I deal with a lot of individuals, but in the summertime it's different.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you because
thank you.
our community could use that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
I didn't hear, do you ride with officers too?
I do ride with officers. I haven't rode with them since like last summer, just because I have other stuff going on. But I am going to start riding with second shifts very soon.
Because you haven't acquired any mental cases out there in public right now, right? I mean, you with them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
On the, you get a call on the homeless after hours. Where do you recommend them to go? I know there was a time years ago that we took them to the police department, which they had to sit there and wait. We had nowhere to take them.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
So I guess it differs case by case. Like usually we like to get them connected to the shelter, Nest. which is our only shelter in Michigan City. And so I will talk to Harry, who's the director there, to see if they can come. And usually Harry's pretty good at letting people in anytime, depending that, you know, or if they're not on any substances. So if they're gonna behave and, you know, act properly, Harry will let them come in at any time. That's our first option. And then if that's not an option for whatever reason, I will try to find other options for them, either staying in a hotel or, connecting them with family members too, if that's an option, which is hard sometimes.
When you send them to a hotel, where does this finances come from?
From a grant that I was awarded.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we only have one homeless shelter in our community?
Yes. Mhm.
Didn't know that.
We got, what, Castle?
Sandcastle.
Sandcastle.
That's for families.
Families.
St.
Yeah.
Catherine's Square.
Yeah. And then we have Stepping Stones, which is for battered women.
Yes,
But yeah.
thank you.
Any other questions for our?
I guess, as far as community involvement, are you looking for more community participation in the efforts that you make, or is it more limited to the police department and your own program? Or is the community something that you're looking to get involved further in that effort?
Yeah, so I think this summer I really want to try to engage the community with more activities or what's the word? Events, like community events.
Okay.
So it's just getting out there and also planning the events as well. That can take some time. So
And are those events also part of the grant program?
no,
No.
I would probably talk to Chief and see how we can get
Okay.
that funded.
Do the police chaplains have any interaction with you?
Oh yeah, yes. So I'm actually meeting with a chaplain today to discuss a community event that we're trying to put together. But yeah, we have some interaction with each other. They're trained a lot, so like, you know, I'm trained in de-escalation and mental health stuff, but they're like specifically trained in, I don't want to get too much into what they're trained in because they know it better than I do, but.
I've been with them for 15
Oh,
years. So.
cool. Well, then you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We interact sometimes, yeah.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
In your position and responsibilities, does that entail the youth also in our community?
Yes. So sometimes I do deal with a lot of youth.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just different scenarios. Like if a domestic takes place and children were involved, I'll outreach the family just to see how the kids are doing. CPS does get involved as well, obviously, but
Okay.
yeah, that's just one example.
Okay. And Commissioner Tillman, I guess you can confirm that a tool like this in a department's toolbox is something that a lot of the municipalities are doing nationwide to ease the job responsibility on areas that you guys normally wouldn't touch, like homeless, mental health.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, as far as our department goes, they continuously train us as well to handle those situations because obviously, you know, her hours are different than ours.
Right.
She works day shift, like me, I work night shift, and then obviously you have people that work midnights as well. So we're trained in like what we call CITs, like crisis intervention, where we're learning about how to deal with people with mental health issues and stuff like that. We come across the homeless daily. Sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, the same individual, and so they're also continuously training us as well, because before she came along, we had to be the ones that are reaching out to those
Right.
businesses and those shelters, and you know what I mean, like that, and we still do, but there's times when it's better, like on second shift, we're really like running from call to call, we're like super busy sometimes, and we can't always be, you know, dealing with somebody for hours on end. And so it's really helpful to be able to say, hey, Jocelyn, I got this female, you know, she's dealing with this and she really needs help, or I got this male that's dealing with this and they really need some assistance that, you know, I can't sit down and do. I can't talk to them through, you know what I mean? Because again, it's not necessarily criminal.
Right.
It's more so they need resources, they need help. And so, yeah, it's been great. It's been, like I said, I'm new here. Obviously, I'm new on the department. So for me, it's been great. So I can't speak for everybody else, but again, like I said, we also reach out to those same resources as well.
Well, like I said, your position and your responsibility is definitely needed to make the job more effective for the community. And I'm sure you guys, when you watch TV, you see that bigger cities, they have 5 or 6 of you. You know, so
Yeah.
being in our toolbox is really a plus, and I applaud our chief for going in that direction.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you can get burned out too, so maybe we might, you have to take vacations, sick days, and
Yeah, I try not to, but
yeah. But, you know, just so you won't get burned out, it would
Right.
be nice to have an additional person too.
yes,
Because our community is getting bigger and bigger, and we're going forward, so
absolutely.
your responsibility is gonna always be there 24/7, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it would be nice to get another social worker on staff, just because they can cover more shifts.
Right.
Like I haven't even touched midnight shift yet, so it would be
Okay.
nice to get,
And most of the activity is at night, so,
right, yeah, like 7 shifts.
I applaud you. Thank you.
you.
Long overdue.
Yes,
All right, a couple more quick questions. So adding an additional social worker, what would the process be for that? Or who would get petitioned for something like that to be added?
I have no idea. That was
Okay.
I just sent that.
Yeah, no,
but
but it's
it would,
good,
it would be
yeah.
nice. But
Yeah, and then for the situations that you're dealing with, sounds like there's a lot of mental health component to that. Is the just from like the kind of hierarchy of the order of how it goes, is it, you know, get a person out of a bad situation for that moment, and then, you know, maybe it goes to Nest, and then I guess does that follow through to like stable place to live, and then jobs as well?
yeah, so I like to do. I don't do case management. I'll do short, brief case management. So I'll get the person stable and on their feet, and then I'll follow up for, let's say, depending on, you know, case by case. If I need to follow up for a couple weeks afterwards, I will.
Okay.
But if I know that they're stable, they're good, they're getting resources elsewhere or case management
and then it
elsewhere.
follows through with others.
Yes.
Okay.
I just kind of fall off.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have one more question. So, Jocelyn, I don't know the answer to this, but do you, because obviously we're here for the status of African American males, do you deal with males of African American often? Are they a little bit more accepting to help and services?
So I did the numbers today, this morning, to make sure that I had it right, and I didn't get a specific number on African American males that I've worked with in 2023. But so I had 165 total referrals from June 1st to December 31st of 2023. Okay, so 33% of those referrals were for African American individuals.
Okay.
So I don't know the total number for men.
Just not males. I got you.
Right.
I got you.
Sorry.
When you do deal with males, because I
Mhm.
know there has to be at least once or twice or whatever, do you see them being acceptable to your resources or to your help, or because obviously you're not law enforcement, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different interacting with you than it is interacting with us, because obviously we represent the law, and people obviously think that they're going to go to jail, or they're scared of that, so they don't speak to us or open up to us as they
Right.
would with you. Do you see a difference in that? Have you noticed a difference? And I'm not just talking about, just males in general, or, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I would say, I feel like there's always some resistance at first, because they're like, well, you're a cop, and they think I'm a cop.
Yeah.
But and I have to, I'm not a cop. I have to reassure them, like, I'm not a cop, I'm the social worker
Yeah.
with the police department. And so at first I am met with some resistance at times, not always, at times though. like yesterday, I was talking with an African American male, and he was saying that he was experiencing like auditory hallucinations. So, and I really encouraged him to go seek help at the hospital, and he didn't want to do it, which is fine. So I just sat there and talked with him, and I think in that moment he just wanted someone to talk to, you know. So at first he was resistant to hearing anything about getting help.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm sometimes met with resistance, but not always.
Well, I'm sure they lower their guards when they see you versus the uniform. That's an visual,
Yeah.
lower your guards. But that's when Swanson Center kicks in, right, as a resource?
Yep, Swanson Center, or the hospital. We send individuals to the ER just to get evaluated.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's involuntary, sometimes it's voluntary. It just depends what's going on. And I think that's the whole point of my position as well. When I first started, Chief and I were very adamant on not dressing like an officer. So, I mean, I have a vest when I go on ride-alongs and stuff, but just like normal clothes to look not as intimidating.
Right.
So.
Well, when I was on the chaplain department, I kept thinking many times, we need a social worker somewhere that deals with mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we have a person like yourself, and what a great asset for the community. And yes, I agree with Commissioner Millsap. You definitely need, you're going to be needing some help in this area, because the burnout is quick, and fast and furious.
Yeah.
And not to scare you. This is
No.
But thank you for taking on that responsibility.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Do you come across more males or females in this job with mental health?
Females.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like remembering my data, more females for sure.
That's in the mental health arena?
Mental health, that's all I was asking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the mental health arena, for sure. Yeah. Female.
You know, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's what females are more likely to accept help. They're more likely to accept help, whereas males have that other ego thing, and they can be as crazy as a flea.
There's a stigma. Yep.
Any other questions for our guest? If not,
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
good move. All right. Very enlightening conversation there, and I'm glad that she's part of our community, because we definitely we'll be needing her in the warmer climates when we have a lot of more activity, but we better have a backup plan for burnout, you know.
Yes.
Following the agenda, at this point, the chair will entertain a motion for approval of the March meeting minutes.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion stands. Treasurer report. Did we all receive our treasurer's report?
Yeah.
From any questions on that? She's not in attendance today, but
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get
I didn't get
it.
it.
all right, I got it. Okay.
You did?
Yeah. So
Okay. I must have been at the mayor's meeting.
yeah, we'll put that on hold. New business. Scheduling of the meeting dates and times for all subcommittee. Any comments on that? Any comments on the schedule?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Repeat that again, sis.
Yeah, it's on your agenda.
Okay.
No, it says scheduling of meeting date and times for all subcommittees. So have the subcommittees had a chance to meet and come up with when they're going to meet?
Okay. Basically, that's what
Is
that
what
means.
we're
Okay.
asking.
Following the agenda,
So we have none?
I don't have any.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, I haven't met anyone yet, but hell.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Say.
Okay. Yeah, I know Pastor Johnson has been busy out of town running some revivals, and then today he said he was under the weather, so I will definitely, before we leave, give me your phone number so I have her contact you.
Moving on, we have a new member, Nick. Could you give us a little brief intro?
Sure. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Nick Pollock. Been in the Carpenters Union here in Michigan City for going on 18 years now. I'm born and raised in Michigan City. I live right in the middle of town, and I've always been involved with the city, and just the older I get, the older my kids get, and the more free time I have. I've just been looking at other ways to be even more involved with the city. I have a great working relationship with Mayor Angie and most of the city council members. And, you know, I'm a strong advocate for Michigan City residents. And with my ability to create a pathway into the Carpenters Union, or any of the trades for that matter, I thought this might be a good commission to sit on. I just want to bring all of Michigan City up, every resident. And I feel like if college isn't your thing, the building trades is a great option. And, you know, when I was in high school, I graduated Michigan City High School in 1997. I had good grades. I was told go to college. And I did for 2 years. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It took me another 6 years of going through different jobs until I found construction and found the Carpenters Union. And it's been great for myself and my family. I'm married. I have 3 daughters. They all go to Michigan City area schools. My wife is actually a tutor at Knapp. And, you know, some of the things Jocelyn was talking about, my wife was a child advocate here in town for a long time, until COVID. And so I can relate to a lot of that. And I feel like, you know, if people know there's an opportunity out there for them to get a career that gives them a living wage and good benefits, I think we can eliminate a lot of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people turn to drugs or alcohol, or, you know, even domestic violence, because they can't pay the bills, or you know, they're worried about what they're going to do, you know, the next day, or how they're going to take care of their kids or buy diapers for their kids. So, you know, I just want to be here to get the word out and let everybody know there's opportunities out there, and I'll be the first one to step up and help.
Great, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
man.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad we got you. Are you a lifelong resident of Michigan City?
I am.
Yes, he
Cool.
said.
Well, I didn't catch that part. All right. Congratulations on.
Born and raised in
Thank you.
Michigan City.
And we look forward to working with the unions as a whole, not
Absolutely.
just the carpenters as a whole. Old business, fundraising committee updates. I can report that the request for donation letter is being put together, and at our next month meeting, I guess you'll have a chance to hear it and see it rather, and vote on it. Anything else from fundraising? If not, moving on. Subcommittee reports. Education. Is there a report from the Education Committee? No report from Education. Is there a report from the Health Committee?
No report.
Well, I don't, you want to hear?
No report. Oh, you got something?
I don't have a report. I just got some information from
Oh, go ahead.
person at the Cancer Center down in Indianapolis, Indiana. Stacks between colon cancer, African American males and white males. And since it's more white males than African American males, so the stacks look real high, you know, but it's not percentage wise. African American males come down with colon cancer more, because, and then the death rate, 50% of African American males come with death rate in colon cancer. So she was supposed to send me all the stats. I got stats for women, white women, African American women, stats on there too.
Okay.
What about prostate cancer?
Prostate, nah, I didn't.
You
We was
didn't
talking
get
about,
that.
we was doing, colon cancer,
Can I ask you a question on that?
Go ahead.
So a lot of that is due for early screening.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, is there
For both.
for both? Is there any programs that are available for early screening through health insurance or others,
I
other
don't
avenues?
know, but she gave me her email. You can contact her. Her name is Taylor Isley, and email is teisle@isdh.in.gov.
I'm gonna ask you
One
for
more
that
time.
I'm gonna ask you for that one more time.
Okay, it's teisle@isdh.in.gov. And a phone number, she told me to give it, is 317-234-5122. And she said-
5122?
Yeah, 5122. And she said she can give you all the information, any questions you want to ask. She's available.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Good information. Employment, no report at this time. Criminal justice,
One more question on the
Yes.
employment. Is it possible that we ask Nick to maybe join that subcommittee today?
Nick?
For employment, I think with the unions, that'd be a great.
Yeah, so I was actually considering two, education and employment. I sit on a workforce development education committee with the Michigan City Chamber of Commerce as well. I'm very involved in the schools, especially the high school.
great.
So I would actually like to
Yeah.
maybe sit on two.
I think you can sit on all.
You-
if you want, anything you want.
You are being written in as you speak. All right. Criminal justice, anything on criminal justice? Nothing?
You got some?
I
No.
do not know.
Okay. Social factors? Anything on social factors?
No, well, nothing really, but I do want to say that the Easter egg hunt went great. They had like, Emmanuel had one, the one at the Washington Park. I mean, it's like, I don't know how you say it, how fast they pick up the meds.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. And then they also had one at Friendship Gardens, and I didn't get to the one at Friendship Gardens in time. But I saw a lot of cars at Friendship Gardens, so I believe they had an awesome time there. So, and the Juneteenth committee is meeting. There is a Facebook page if anybody wants to sign up to volunteer for the Juneteenth committee. The city event planner, if you have any questions, you could call him. He's working with that also.
Okay. Thank you, Faye. Questions on social factors? If not, public comment. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make comment?
3 minutes.
Anyone from the public? Moving on, commissioners' comments. Starting,
No comment.
no comment, Mike? Rev?
Reverend Carol, Pastor
Carol.
Carol, any comments?
Any comments?
Mhm.
I appreciated this, our guest speakers, and it brought out a lot of things in my mind that are now happening that I wish that was going on when I seen all these things going on in the community. And so it's being brought to light, and makes me a very happy camper. I appreciate them very much.
Okay, thank you. Ms.
My
Cox?
comment is brief. I just want to applaud Officer Tillman for inviting her and bringing forth the valuable information.
I agree.
I
Nick?
agree.
I just want to add on to a little bit of what the Reverend said. You know, I think this day and age, mental health is being recognized now. So I think it's good that we have people like that. And I know it's not an easy job to have to deal with that on a daily basis, but I do commend Jocelyn and Commissioner Tolman. Thank you for having her sit in.
Same. I'm just glad Jocelyn could come and share a little bit of light of what she does. She kind of like speaks about it lightly, but it's an important role that she's playing. Also, I want to welcome you because, like you were saying, trades are important. And again, not everybody is built for college, and not everybody cares to go to college. But you get into a trade, you learn that skill, you have it forever. So I do appreciate you joining.
Thank you.
I would just like to say the mayor did her State of the Union address today, so please, in a couple of days, go on Alco and watch it. It was awesome. And what all the city has been doing. I mean, especially the refuse department, picking up all that trash. And she also talked about the snow removal and everything. It was really nice, right? You were there. So it was awesome. So please watch, and about probably tomorrow it'll be on Access.
Comcast.
Access,
Alco.
LaPorte County. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll close out with thanking our guest speaker for coming. Very educational. I personally feel like as far as her job and responsibilities, it would be an asset. It is an asset for our law enforcement, Michigan City Police Department to have. And as we all know in our community, in the warmer months, there's a lot more activities. And to have a tool like that to use, I'm sure the police department will be more effective and enriching the quality of life for our residents. So I'm all for that. I appreciate and I applaud our police chief for going in that direction because it just makes everyone's job a lot easier. Being that she touched base with the mental health issue that we have in our community, May is Mental Health Month, so hopefully I can get someone from the Swanson Center to come in and give us a snapshot on where our community is in that area. So I guess we'll know next month if it's possible. Any other business brought in front of this board? Any other business brought in front of this board? If not, this meeting stands adjourned at 4:02. Thank you all.